Well, good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me okay. I hope you had a great holiday season and that rested and had some hot cocoa. And I hope you had a lot of good time off these last couple days. This is the Check It Out series. We've got some fun stuff ahead for you today. So we're going to keep it moving because there's a lot to cover. So first of all, my name is Janeé Jackson-Doring. I'm the Youth Services Consultant for the State Library of Iowa. There is my contact info. You can reach me by phone. You can reach me by email. I love emails because I'm able to get my thoughts out pretty well, excuse me. So either way, phone or email, contact me if you have questions, concerns, just need to run something by me or ideas. Please let me know. And I wanted to post a picture of something that gives me joy this month. So this month, I found this cute Book It alumni sticker. There's a store in Des Moines called Copy and Paste. They're kind of a quirky stationery store. And I found this Book It sticker and I just had to have it. And now it's on my water coffee mug, but it's super cool and it's waterproof sticker. So yes, so that is something that brought me joy this month. And I hope you found something that brought you joy this month. Really quickly, I'm just looking at the chat. Someone said, do you want our names in the chat or will you gather it another way? Definitely put your first and last name in the chat so that way we can take attendance. So, and thank you, Angela, for covering that for me. Okay, so what's the plan? We got a lot to cover today. We've got board book roundup. We have our picture books. We have story time standouts. And for those of you that are new, you're like, what is story time standouts? It's something I created, and what it is I pick books that would be great for story times, whether it's theme story times or just silly story times. These are the books that you want to use for story time. So that's what story time standouts are. We're going to cover early readers, chapter books, middle grade, and young adult. I'll also cover what I'm currently reading or getting ready to read. We'll go over the giveaway and a lot of upcoming events. So let's get started. Okay, first up, we have our board book roundup. So these were two books at the top left corner that I saw that were just totally super cute. This is called Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Toes. I'm going to put that closer there. That way you guys can see it. It's by Nicholas Slater. This is an adorable board book about these animals. And I'm going to pull up my other slide for my notes too, so that way you guys can see where the board book rounds up. But this is a bright, colorful board book that repeats the song Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Toes twice. And it's a narwhal, two cats, a monkey, and a llama. They're attending the Cats Meow dance school, and they ask the reader to do the movements of head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Each animal in the book points to the specific body part. So they're pointing to their head, their shoulders, their knees, and toes. This is perfect for toddlers and preschoolers and for babies even, for just learning head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Super colorful, super cute, super fun. The next book in our board book roundup is called Peek-a-You by Andrea Pinkney. I'm going to get that up close so you guys can see it pretty well. This book is a twist on the peekaboo game. In this book, it says, Peek-a-You, take a look. Peek-a-You. In this book, Peek-a-You, stomp, shout, sing. I am just the cutest thing. I love this because it's part of the Bright Brown Baby series, because babies, all children need to see themselves reflected in a book. This is adorable, super cute rendition on Peekaboo. Super, super adorable, super cute. So that's Peek-a-You by Andrea Davis Pinkney. There are many titles in that brown that Bright Brown Baby series. So definitely take a peek at those. It'd be great for your collection. On the bottom right corner of the screen, I found some 2023 board books that you want to keep your eyes on. The first one is called Peekaboo Rex by Sandra Boynton. I was able to see an advanced copy of it. It is super adorable. It's a board book where the large T-Rex is playing hide and go seek and the baby T-Rex has to find him. Although the big T-Rex is, let's face it, he's pretty easy to spot. He's a huge T-Rex. He's hiding behind palm trees and plants. And so baby T-Rex can easily find him. Super sweet, super adorable. Another hit from Sandra Boynton. You can't miss it. It's going to come out, looks like next week, January 3rd. And then the next book that's going to come out next year is called Vegetables in Pajamas by Jared Chapman. Again, another digital copy that I got to see. This is part of a series, the Vegetables and Underwear series, excuse me. But this time, these lovely vegetables have to find the right pair of pajamas to wear. And what made this stand out for me was the fact that it's a vocabulary builder. So children are learning the words snuggly, cozy, comfy. So good descriptive words to help them build their language. Bright colors, bright illustrations. Who doesn't love a vegetable in pajamas? Any vegetables in underwear. Totally fun, totally cute. Definitely you want to have on your radar. Okay, we are going to move to picture books. Okay, and the first book that I have is called The Yawn Book. I'm going to move that up close. It is by Diana Kim. Now, I have to be honest with you. This book and just seeing all the different yawns in here, it made me yawn. And it is true. When you see other people yawn or other images of yawning, guess what? You're going to yawn. So this book has all the different facts and reasons on why we yawn and yawns. Did you know that you may feel like yawning when you're trying to focus or have a job to do? That's a fact that kids will learn in this book. I love the use of the bright colors. Illustrations are really, really clean and crisp. I'm going to pull up another page here. But kids see all different types of yawns and yawning. And yes, even animals do yawn too. I'm going to show you another page. At the end, it says, "Why did you yawn while reading this book?" Super duper cute. In the back of the book, there's also a works cited page. So that way, if someone's doing a research report on yawning, there's some works cited in here. So try not to yawn when you read The Yawn Book by Diana Kim. The next book that we have is called On the Corner of Chocolate Avenue. And this is by Tizabora Cohen, and it's illustrated by Steven Salerno. Now, this book is about Milton Hershey and how Milton Hershey brought milk chocolate to America. It's basically a rags to riches story. Milton Hershey was very poor. He grew up very, very poor, helping to support the family. He left middle school, he was 14 to support his family. And he was lucky enough to get a job working in an ice cream parlor where he learned how to make ice cream, taffy, and candies. And there's show you some of the illustrations there, if you can see. But he loved sweets. He loved learning about candies and how to make them. So he grows up learning all these skills, and he opens up three candy shops, and they all failed. They all failed miserably. And he is just trying to learn how to make chocolate. And so he starts making caramels first. He starts making caramels. He has a caramel company, and then he's able to get the money to hire scientists to find the right formula for chocolate. He tries all different kinds of recipes. It's not working. But then when he finds that right amount of milk to put in the chocolate, eureka, he's found the recipe for chocolate. This is a great book if you have a child that's learning about chocolate or writing a report about sweets and candies and how Milton Hershey got started. In the back of the book, there is a works cited page. There's different resources on different books on where you can learn more about Milton Hershey as well. Super fun book, super, super informative. Make sure you check it out on the corner of Chocolate Avenue. I'm going to pull up my next slide and add this to, let's see. Our next set of books is a twofer. So today is Two for Tuesday because these are two books by the same author. We have Little Black Boy and Little Black Girl. These are written by Kirby Howell Baptiste. And for Little Black Boy, it was also written by Larry C. Fields III. Little Black Girl is written by Kirby Howell Baptiste. They're both illustrated by Paul Davy. And these are some beautiful, beautiful books. With Little Black Boy, it's the story is about a young boy who wants to become a marine biologist. And he really, really wants to achieve his goal. And it's a positive picture book with beautiful illustrations. I'm going to show you that. Let me see. I don't know if you guys can see that okay. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. But a little black boy begins his journey of discovery to one day becoming a marine biologist so he can make a difference in the world and share his passion of environmental conservation with everyone. The images are just very, very inspiring. And I love this text. It says, "You're here with a purpose. We're so glad you came. What starts as a spark will turn into a flame." So he's surrounding himself in water, surrounding himself with people who inspire him. And the cool thing is that in the book, he's inspired by other African-American biologists who have paved the way. So it's showing kids that, yes, you can achieve a STEM career. Same thing with Little Black Girl. In Little Black Girl, you have a young woman who wants to become an engineer. But she's been told, no, you can't do it. You can't do it. There's no way you can do it. And she says, I want to be an engineer. Boo, they may say, but don't let naysayers get in your way. And she's inspired by seeing all of these other people who have done something with their life. So this has a spread of a writer, a vet, a movie director, a poet, a coder, a fossil collector. So she's seeing all these wonderful images of people doing their dreams, making their dreams happen. And these both got really, really good reviews, excellent starred reviews. So make sure you check out Little Black Boy and Little Black Girl. Great builders for STEM careers, especially this, to encourage young African Americans and brown indigenous children. Yes, you can achieve STEM careers. So that's Little Black Boy and Little Black Girl. Oh boy, our next story has dinosaurs. I don't know, I'm sure you have young friends that love dinosaurs, and they can tell you all the different kinds of dinosaurs. This is an adorable, adorable picture book. But could you imagine if dinosaurs had hair? That's the opening lines of this book, If Dinosaurs Had Hair, by Dan Marvin, and it's illustrated by Leslie Vamos. And this book details what would happen if dinosaurs did indeed have hair. They would have snarls. They would need to go to the hairstylist, which I found pretty funny. And I'm going to open this up so you guys can see. So that's the dinosaurs. There's a large spread of the dinosaurs going to the hairstylist. And there they are. And it says, they probably had hairstyles and hair products and drama. You know there was drama. And I just love the little blurbs. So the dinosaurs saying, come on, everybody, places. Who stole my lipstick? Girl, I know you used my hairspray. Excuse me. So super funny, super silly. And so they go to the stylist where they share, of course, dinosaur gossip. Yes, because dinosaurs apparently gossip, but the gossip gets to be so intense that there is a hair warfare. Oh no. So funny. So this book is filled with all different kinds of hairstyles, and I'll show you, from bowl cuts, hoofs, pompadours, all kinds of hairstyles. This was funny. I would give this to your youngest dinosaur fan. Super funny, super cute. This is If Dinosaurs Had Hair by Dan Marvin and Leslie Vamos. And our next book, this is by tennis player Naomi Osaka. This is called The Way Champs Play. This is a simple rhyming picture book, and it just encourages children to use kind words and play fair when they're playing sports. And I'll just show you. It says, we love to move. We love to play. We are champs and we play all day. I really like this picture book just because it shows all different types of athletes. It's very diverse. It's very inclusive, very beautiful illustrations, simple text. It teaches kids to use their words. With every match, we give our all to see if we can smash that ball. Very active. This right here. And it says, and if we miss and fill with doubt, our teammates always help us out. We try again. That's how we learn. We roll up for another turn. So it's teaching kids to try again, be persistent, persevere. Beautiful illustrations, beautiful message. Give this to a sports fan who loves sports, your youngest sports fan, but this is called The Way Champs Play by Naomi Osaka, and it's illustrated by Kamala Nair. And move to my next piece. This book is called The Talk. This is by Alicia D. Williams, and it's illustrated by Brianna Mukurdiri Uchendu. Now, I have to say, personally, this was a very hard picture book for me to read. And you'll see why when I explain. But this book, it features 3 kids, Jay, Ebony, and Bryant. All 3 children are friends, and the story starts out as children, very small children. They love to run, they love to skateboard in the park and try new tricks. Jay is very close to his mother and his grandmother and grandfather. And there they are playing, as young children do. They're running and playing and having a good time. But children get older. They get taller, they get older, they get wiser. And so mom always measures how tall he's gotten. And so she's marking his height on the wall there. And she hugs him and she's sad. And she says, they won't see you as a young boy anymore either. I tell her I'll always be her little man. And so the people in Jay's life, his mother, his father, grandfather, they all share with Jay as he gets older instances of what to do in case he is faced with racism. His father tells him if he's stopped by the police to keep his hands on the steering wheel and the dashboard and to remain very calm. While they're shopping, his mother says to him, hey, you can't talk loud, no play fighting. You've got to really just be respectful and keep your hands outside of your pockets. And there's a scene where the children, as they're older, they are riding on skateboards, and they're getting kind of a mean kind of look. And the grandfather tells Jay and the children, make sure you only gather in groups of 4. And Jay says, well, I wasn't doing anything. We weren't doing anything. And he says, that doesn't matter. Stay in groups of 4 to keep yourself safe. And this is the spread of the mom and Jay shopping. And she's telling him, keep your hands out of your pockets. And on the side of that page, there's the clerk talking to the police officer. This was again, hard book to read, but it is an important book because it's serving Black and Brown communities, especially those communities who have to have that talk. It is highly recommended. It got a starred reviews in School Library Journal, Publishers Weekly, and Kirkus. So if you don't have it, please get The Talk by Alicia D. Williams. Hey, our final picture book for this month is called What's Sweeter? This is a poem written and illustrated by June Tate. This is a sweet, diverse picture book about the list of things that make life sweet, such as practicing something and getting it right, as our little friend here, or what's sweeter than giving a fire truck a bath? Isn't that cute? Or what's sweeter than finally getting something you've been practicing? So there's the little child on the ramp, and his friends are cheering. The illustrations are very childlike. They're very colorful, but it's almost, like I said, in the style of a child, like scribbling or drawing. This is a sweet picture book, especially if you have a parent that says, hey, I need a quiet picture book for bedtime. Can you give me any recommendations? This would be a perfect bedtime, kind of a settle down, quieter picture book for that nightly bedtime. So that is What's Here, written and illustrated by June Tate. Okay. Right, we are going to move now to our Storytime standouts. And this month, I'm going to pull my pile because I have my piles of books. This month, I have two outstanding standouts for this month. The first book is called Firefighter Flow, and this is by Andrea Zimmerman, and it's illustrated by Dan Yaccarino. For those of you who have ever said, oh man, I need a story time book for the fire department. They're going to come and they're going to talk to the kids about fire safety. What book do I pull? This would be an excellent book. This is a rhyming picture book, and it shows our character in the firehouse. It says, hey ho, firefighter Flo, you're a hero, you're a pro. So it's nighttime. And the phone rings. Hello, hello, it's firefighter Flo. The smoke is thick, flames have spread. Come on, crew, out of bed. So very clean pictures, very simple rhyming text. It shows what the crews do. It shows their fire truck. It shows them getting the hose out and saving the day. And Flo in this book, she is saving not only a family, but also an adorable puppy, there. But this would be a great story time picture book if you're having to have a story time, fire safety story time. And this is also part of a series that is going to be coming out. It's a Big Jobs, Bold Women series. So they're going to be featuring different types of careers. And this series is from Random House Publishing. This got a star review also in Publishers Weekly as well. So again, if you need a firefighter book for story time, Firefighter Flow is your best bet. And for those of you who are thinking of spring and saying, hey, I really like to do flower story time, would be a wonderful addition to your storytime collection. This is called A Seed Grows, and it's written and illustrated by Antoinette Portis. Antoinette is one of my favorite authors. She wrote the story Not a Box, which is one of my favorite picture books. But this talks about the life cycle of a sunflower. And very simple, basic text on the spread. It said a seed grows. So it's a tiny seed. And kids see how it settles into the soil. And the sun shines. It follows through all the way through rain and pushing into the open air. And it forms a bud, but the cool thing is this flap folds out and the kids can see that it turns into a sunflower. And also in the back of the book, there is also information about the parts of a sunflower that you can share with caregivers and readers, and the life cycle of a sunflower plant, excuse me. So again, if you're looking for a flower book for flower story time, A Seed Grows is your best bet. Okay, we're going to move right along to early readers. So we've got 3 outstanding early readers for you today. And I'm going to pull this part up real quick. The first one is Horse and Buggy on Ice. That book is by Ethan Long, and it's book 5 of the Horse and Buggy series. And Horse loves to skate, and Horse knows that they're good at it. The horse does flips and tricks and spins until Horse falls down. And Buggy, she helps Horse to get back up and try again. It's a good book to teach about perseverance. It's a beginning reader with simple sentences, simple text, and explores the themes of friendship and perseverance. We also have, for the second book for early readers, this is El Toro and Friends Team Up. This is by Raul III, and the illustrations are by Elaine Bay. This is an action-packed bilingual reader for kids, and it's the second book in the El Toro series. And El Toro is a wrestler with his team of friends, and they attend Ricky Raton's school of lucha, where they learn everything from strength training and patience. When it comes time for one final test, El Toro and his friends have to decide whether working alone is the best way to go, or if teaming up together to solve the problem will make things easier. This is a fun book, and I'm going to show you a couple pages, but the text is written in English and in Spanish, so that way children can learn Spanish words as well. This also got a starred review in School Library Journal, so please check out El Toro and Friends Team Up by Raul III. And for 2023, if you have fans of pizza and taco, which are my 2 favorite foods, you would love Pizza and Taco Rock Out. And this is by Stephen Shaskin. This comes out next week. And basically, pizza and taco are friends, but they also love music. They love music. They love to make lists. They love to do tryouts. And they have tryouts to get more band members into their band. They think they have all the ingredients and everything set up for their band to rock the rock scene, but they get into some hijinks, and maybe their garage band needs to stay in the garage, but you'll have to see. It's a graphic novel style format, and it's the 5th book in the series. So make sure you pick up these early readers, and especially Pizza and Taco next week. All right, we are going to move as quickly as we can to chapter books. Okay, again, we have another 2 for Tuesday by the same author. What is it? 2 for Tuesday. What is it about the 2 for Tuesdays today? So I'm going to pull this other part of my slide. The first book is called The Sheep, the Rooster, and the Duck, and Leave It to Plum. Both of these are written by Matt Fellin. So in this book, we have Bernadette the sheep, Pierre the rooster, and our friend Jean-Luc the duck. These three animals are very important because they're part of a secret society. And this is a historical fiction novel that takes place in France. And Benjamin Franklin is visiting France. And so while caring for Benjamin Franklin, 10-year-old Emile finds himself in the middle of a sinister plot. And in the middle of the secret headquarters for France's headquarters, the undercover superheroes, who are our talking animals, help save Benjamin Franklin's plans from being stolen. Benjamin is an inventor. He loves to invent things. And Bernadette the sheep, she loves to invent things too, so much that she invented the hot air balloon. These animals love to fight. They do their best to keep Benjamin Franklin safe. This would be great for a wonderful fifth grade read aloud. The illustrations are kind of a dark, kind of graphite pencil drawings, but there's the rooster fighting our villain. This was super, super fun, super adorable. And who doesn't love talking animals? And this was a wonderful book to read. There's also some notes in the back of the book that talk about Benjamin Franklin. So if you have an historical fiction reader, check out The Sheep, the Rooster, and the Duck. We also have, by Matt, Leave It to Plum. And Plum is a peppy purple peacock. That's how he describes himself. Peppy purple peacock, who loves to do one thing: delight, mingle, and guide. The peacocks at the Athensville Zoo are guides. They're kind of ambassadors. So they kind of show all the visitors around. And the peacocks get together and literally, this is what they say at their meeting: mingle, guide, delight. That's their job. But there's one character, one animal that is not thrilled about the peacocks being ambassadors, and that is Itch. Itch right here is a ningbing, and he is not thrilled about these peacocks, and he wants them out the way. He wants to be the ambassador of the zoo. So Itch creates a plan, so that way the peacocks are out of the way, they're put into cages, and Itch can be the ambassador of the zoo. This is a funny book, adorable book. It'd be good for a 3rd to 4th grade read aloud. There are illustrations. There are some illustrations in the book. And it has a very sweet ending, which I didn't expect that to happen, but this was super, super adorable. So if you get a chance, if you have a teacher that needs read alouds, check out The Sheep, the Rooster, and the Duck, and Leave It to Plum, both by Matt Fellin. Okay, and our next book in our series is called This Appearing House. This is a horror novel, and horror is near and dear to my heart. I love horror books. This is by Ali Malanico, and this book is about Jacqueline. She is a survivor of cancer. It is her 5th year, her 5th anniversary of the diagnosis that she received. She was diagnosed at 7. And so she has gone through treatments. She's gone through the needle. She's gone through a whole lot of trauma that has come with this. Her mom always asks her, "Are you okay? Are you going to be all right?" She's constantly worried about her. So every time she doesn't feel right, her hands start to shake. And she's going to school with her friend Hazel. And Hazel is the bright spot in Jacqueline's life. They get to hang out, they talk to each other, they ride their bikes. But one day, when Jacqueline's on her way to school, she sees a house on her block, the end of her block. She's like, "That house hasn't been there before. I'm sure of it. I'm sure that house has never been there." And so she keeps riding her bike back to this house. And she's like, wow, that house has never been there. And she feels like she has to tell someone, but she can't tell her mother. Her mother is already worried about her and her safety. So she tells Hazel. And Hazel and Sam and another young child, they visit this house. And Jacqueline starts to feel funny. And you don't know if it's because maybe her cancer is coming back or if it's the house trying to tell her something. This is a powerful book. It is very creepy. There were scenes in here. I was like, whoa, you have the creepy, nasty gray skeleton hand that comes out and grabs each child. But it's so good. There's just the wraparound at the end there where you're just like, oh my gosh, you're wondering, why is this house coming all of a sudden and only these 4 kids see it? But then you understand why at the very end. Powerful, moving. If you love horror, if you love gripping stories, grab Disappearing House. Our next book, this is super duper fun. This is a very whimsical graphic novel that I truly enjoyed. One of my old coworkers recommended this book to me. It's called My Aunt is a Monster by Ramina Yee. And I'm going to just hold that up so you guys can see it pretty good. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. This got starred reviews from Publishers Weekly and Booklist. And this tale follows Safia. She's an 11-year-old girl. She is blind, and she has 2 loving parents that run a bookstore. They love reading to Safia. She also helps in the bookstore. So she's surrounded by stories. She loves being read to stories, and her parents would tell her stories every night before she goes to sleep. Well, one day, her parents are accidentally killed in a fire, and the bookstore also is lost. The bookstore catches on fire. So now she's an orphan. And so she's in the orphanage waiting to be adopted. And the representative of the orphanage says, hey, we found a long lost relative of yours. And Safia's like, what? I didn't know I had a long lost relative. So they take her all the way to this creepy house, this house that nobody wants to be around. And so she's sent to live with her, and this is the name, Auntie Walter Ann Hakeem Whimsy, or Aunt Whimsy. Aunt Whimsy is a traveler. She's an explorer. She loves the outdoors. She loves going on expeditions, and she writes about it in a kind of like a monthly magazine. And so she loves just being out and about. The only kicker is Aunt Whimsy has a secret. Aunt Whimsy is really a monster. She was cursed to become a monster on one of her famous expeditions. And so she's kind of like a 3-eyed wolf kind of looking monster. But Zavia doesn't know this. All she knows is that Auntie Whimsy is kind and sweet, and she wants to go on adventures with her. And so Aunt Whimsy and Zafia and the assistant go on another adventure, but secrets start to spill out. And you realize that, will Zafia ever find out the truth about her aunt? This was a very sweet graphic novel, very colorful, just a fun read. So if you want something light and just enjoyable, read My Aunt's a Monster by Ramina Yee. Okay, this is a new book that I actually got a hold of. It was sent to me a couple weeks ago, and I wanted to get it on this list, but this is called Lincoln Hud, Heroes by a Hair. This is by Jarrett Pumphrey and Jerome Pumphrey. They are brothers. And I'm going to pull this part here. Let's see. And this is about the 2 brothers, Lincoln Hud Dupree. That's their names. These boys like to get into trouble, no matter what. They are both African Americans. They get into a lot of hijinks, and they let their over imaginations get in the way. So they could be in the garage playing and they could pretend, hey, I'm climbing a mountain. And they're using all of the things in the garage to pretend they're climbing a mountain, when in actuality, they're making a big mess. Their dad is a podiatrist by day, and at night, he creates African-American hair products. So he's trying to get this business off the ground, but the kids always get in the way. They're always playing with the salon products that he's telling them not to play with. When the dad is trying to sell his African-American hair care to potential buyers, one of the kids pretends that they're going on an expedition, only they run out stark naked in front of the dad and the group that he's talking to. So they really let their imaginations go way too far sometimes, and nobody wants to babysit them. They've tried every babysitter on the block and nobody wants to babysit them, except for Miss Joyce. Miss Joyce is a sassy woman who has a huge purse and a huge attitude to match that purse, and she wears a gold tooth. She's agreed to watch the boys, and so she puts these boys to work. So not only do they get, when they get in trouble, they get in the timeout, but she also makes them fold the laundry too. And the boys aren't having it. They're like, we got to get rid of this lady. Come on now. But what they notice about Miss Joyce is that every time she cleans the house, she keeps wandering into the garage. And the boys are wondering, is she trying to steal stuff? Maybe we should set up the video camera that dad's got and see. And so the boys have to prove to the family whether or not Miss Joyce is stealing things. This was super funny, really cute illustrations. This I actually thought was a good mix of the picture book, or sorry, not picture book, but graphic novel / chapter book mix. So if you're looking for something fun to read, and especially for kids, if they're looking for something funny and quirky, definitely in March, get Lincoln Hood, Heroes by a Hair. Okay, we are going to move into middle grade. And let's see. Our first book for middle grade is Isla to Island by Alexis Castellanos, excuse me. This book is a wonderful graphic novel. It's about this girl named Marisol. She is growing up in Cuba during the time of Fidel Castro's reign. And she lives with her parents, but after Castro starts having a war and there's turmoil in Cuba, she is sent from Cuba to New York to live with a couple, and she's distraught. Marisol just wants to be back home. She misses the food. She misses the life back in Cuba. She misses the flowers. And the only good thing in her life that she discovers is when she goes to the library and she starts to smile. I put in this illustration because for most of the story, it's told in black and white, but when she starts to feel, when you see her emotions, the emotions are displayed in these pretty kind of pastel colors, purples and reds and blues and greens. The gray illustrations really do a great job of showing her sadness, and the use of colors are just great. In the back of the book, there is a recipe for arroz con pollo, which is rice with chicken. And it talks about kind of the historical events in that present time. This is a great historical fiction graphic novel to give to an older reader. So enjoy Isla to Island. The next book I have is called Middle School Misadventures. This is part of a series by Jason Platt. This one is called Dance Disaster, and this is book 3 of the series. And with this book, this is about Noel. This boy is the life of the party. Last year during middle school, he created a really, really fun dance called the Shake and Slide, and it was a hit. And Noel hangs out with his friends. So there's Colin, Clara, Skylar, Lily, and Max. So they're all excited for their school year to happen, but they're also excited because there's going to be another school dance. But Noel is nervous this time around because now with this dance coming up, he sees all of his friends becoming couples. So now they're having boyfriends and girlfriends, and Noel doesn't know how to feel about that. He just feels kind of awkward about it. So what he plans on doing is ruining the school dance because he doesn't want the vibe of his group to change. He fears that all of his friends are getting, becoming couples. He feels like he's going to lose his friends. So when you read this, it has awesome graphic illustrations. It really gives you that comic style, like you're reading a kind of a newspaper style format. Funny hijinks, funny illustrations, total middle school behavior. If you have someone that is looking for something a little bit more than Big Nate, I would recommend Middle School Misadventures by Jason Platt. And also, this author resides in Davenport, Iowa, because there's information about him in the back of the book. So very cool to read. So check it out. Our next book is called The Tryout. And this is by Christina Soontorvat. And this book was put on, if memory serves me right, this was on the School Library Journal's Best of 2022 book list for graphic novels. And this book is about Christina. Christina and her friend Megan, they really want to try out for the cheerleading squad at the middle school, but both girls are nervous. Christina is the only Asian American in her school, and the girls live in Texas. It's a small Texas town. Megan, her friend, is Iranian American, and Christina lives with her Thailand-born father and her mother, who is white, and they own the first Asian American restaurant in town. Her father he's kind of gregarious. He always makes himself the center of attention, and he makes kind of self-deprecating jokes in order to fit in. But Christina really wants to belong to something. And her and Megan both feel that trying out for the cheerleading squad will give them that sense of belonging, or not, but you'll have to see. Christina is very strong. She's very determined. And I gotta tell you, this reminded me so much of New Kid, only for girls, because she faces so much ignorance, so many microaggressions, and to see her persevere and find where she belongs, it was just really fun to read, and to see her stick up for herself was very powerful. So if you liked New Kid, check out The Tryout by Christina Soontorvat. Okay, our next book is a graphic novel called Twin Cities. This is by Jose Pimienta. This was on School Library Journal's Best of 2022 list and NPR's Best of 2022 list. And this story follows two twins, Fernando and Teresa. Both twins have done everything together. They've gone to school together, celebrate birthdays together, and Teresa is really wanting some more independence. They live in Mexico, but they're very close to the US border. So Teresa wants to go to a middle school, but she wants to go to a private Catholic middle school. Her goal is to improve her English and possibly be accepted into a Catholic high school, because she realizes that America has opportunities. The brother, Fernando, is not thrilled about going to middle school by himself. He's really struggling. During lunchtime, he doesn't sit with other kids. He sits outside, and he meets Alex, an older student who kind of does his own thing. He loves to listen to rock music. So he's listening to music on his CD, little CD Walkman. He's making mixtapes for Fernando so that way he can listen to music. And the other thing is Alex is starting to become a bad influence. So much so that he is starting to sell and smoke weed. And he introduces Fernando to the drug, and it's changing Fernando. It's changing his relationship with Teresa. They already have it rough enough because Teresa wants her own room. And so their room is kind of split in half, where Teresa is on one side, Fernando's on the other side. And their parents are working to build another room specifically for Teresa so she can have her own independence. But she notices that her brother is changing, and she notices the weed in his backpack that Alex had him hold. And she decides to take it with her to get rid of it. And she takes it with her in her backpack and takes it to school. And she crosses the border, and at the border stop, there's patrols going through each car to look to see if there's any contraband. This was a very detailed book. The illustrations are very detailed. It's a very good look into life in Mexico and how these children grow up, and how they stick up for each other. So if you get a chance, please pick up Twin Cities by Jose Pimienta. Okay, we are going to move into young adult, and really quickly because we are pressing for time. So if you have fans of Heartstopper, and I hope you have fans of Heartstopper, this series is very, very popular right now. It's a graphic novel series. It's an LGBTQ graphic novel series. And this is the Heartstopper yearbook by Alice Oseman. This is pretty much a tribute to hardcore fans of the show on Netflix and these books. So the author explains how she created the world of Heartstopper. And there's also a mini comic from Tara and Darcy. Teens can see which character they relate to through a quiz, if they relate to Nick more or Charlie more. So give this to your big fans of Heartstopper. This is the Heartstopper yearbook by Alice Oseman. Our next book is called We Deserve Monuments. Here, I'm gonna pull this up. This is by Jan Hammonds. And basically readers has to find out what's more important, keeping the peace or finding out the truth. So our character Avery, who's 17, she just moved from DC to Georgia with her mother. They're staying at her grandma's house, which her name is Mama Letty. And Mama Letty has an attitude, and she does not care for Avery's mother. So their relationship is very dicey. Next door, Avery befriends her next door neighbor, which is Simone Cole. And she also befriends Jade Oliver. And Jade Oliver is part of the town's most prominent family. And the other thing with Jade to know about Jade is that her mother was murdered, and the murder remains unsolved. This book is juicy with secrets, family secrets, drama, LGBTQ romance, and racism. So this is a powerful read. So definitely check out We Deserve Monuments by Jas Hammond. Excuse me. I had said Jan, excuse me, Jas Hammond. Next book is called 1,000 Heartbeats by Kira Cass. This just came out last month. If you have teen romance fans, this is for them. This is kind of an enemies to lovers romance story where Princess Annika is forced into an arranged marriage. She doesn't want to do this. She's just not digging this. Her father is the king, and her father was a very kind man once upon a time, but now his moods have turned icy and he's just completely cold. And we have also Lennox. Lennox, he's devoted to the Daharanian army, and he wants to reclaim the throne that was stolen from him. And Lennox doesn't really care about love. He feels like love is mostly a distraction. and nothing's going to get in his way of getting what he wants. But once he meets Annika, the sparks fly. It does take a while to get into for the book, but once the story gets going, the romance and everything just moves along with it. So this is a good fantasy book, good historical book. If you have fans of Kira Cass, give them 1,000 heartbeats. Okay, so I put together some 2023 teen books to watch out for, because 2023 is coming up and there's a lot of good stuff that's coming out, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. A lot of these I have on hold because I had to put them on hold, but a lot of these books have been getting a lot of buzz. So really quickly, I'm going to move through this as quickly as I can. The first book is Promise Boys by Nick Brooks. This is being described as The Hate U Give meets One of Us is Lying. And basically it's a blockbuster mystery about 3 teen boys of color who have to investigate their principal's murder to clear their own names. So if you have fans of Angie Thomas and Karen McManus, you'll want to get The Promise Boys. It's gotten good reviews so far. I got a star review from Kirkus as well. Delicious Monsters by Lascelles Samberry. That book is being described in the vein of Mexican Gothic, which I loved that book by Silvia Moreno Garcia. Delicious Monsters has 2 characters from different time periods. They both come together into this house, and this house is just a supernatural thing of evil, and it holds secrets, and both of them are intertwined through those secrets, and they have to find out what really happened to one of the characters. So it is getting some good buzz. The other book, She is a Haunting by Trang Chan Tran. That is coming out, let me see, February 28th. This got starred reviews in Kirkus reviews as well. This story focuses on Jade. Jade arrives to her family's home, only it is a haunted house. And at night, she's visited by this ghost bride who tells her not to eat. And you have to find out why she can't eat, why this ghost bride is visiting her at night. Very creepy. It is definitely on my to-read list. Angeline Boley, who is our Iowa Reads author, she is coming out with a new book on May 2nd called Warrior Girl Unearthed. And this story takes place back in Sugar Island, which is the setting for Firekeeper's Daughter. This time, this focuses on Perry. Perry is a young woman that is noticing that on Sugar Island, a lot of Indigenous women from her community are becoming missing. And her family is thrusted into a high-profile murder case. And so Perry is realizing at a young age that she needs to take matters into her own hands to find out why these women are going missing and to clear her family's name. So this is going to be a hot title, so I would definitely get this on your list. And then the final book on my series to watch out for is One of Us is Back. This is book 3 in the One of Us is Lying series by Karen M. McManus. And it comes out July 25th. This goes back to the Bayview 4 that was featured into One of Us is Lying. Simon, if you remember in book 1, Simon died in detention, and for that crew, life hasn't been the same. They had to prove that they weren't killers in the first book. Then they had to outwit a copycat in the second book. And now a crew of the Bayview crew goes missing, and someone wants to play a new game with the remaining Bayview kids. And a lot of secrets are going to come out of that book. So if you get a chance, put these in your cart. These are going to be some of the hot books you're going to want to look out for 2023. And really quickly, what I'm reading. Right now, I'm reading quite a bit. On this page, I have White Horse. That is an Indigenous adult horror novel by Erica T. Worth. It's about a woman who has her mother's bracelet. She faces her past when she discovers a bracelet that is haunted by her mother's spirit, excuse me. So I just got this book for Christmas, so I am delving into that. I'm reading Cooking from the Spirit by Tabitha Brown because I want to become vegan maybe. So I'm learning some cool recipes. And if you follow her on Instagram, she is amazing. She is sassy and just has the greatest recipes. So check out Cooking from the Spirit. And I just finished Maisie Chen's Last Chance by Lisa Yee. It's a great book about this young girl, Maisie, and her mother. They travel from Los Angeles to Minnesota because her grandfather is dying, and the grandparents own a Asian American restaurant. And Maisie learns about the Paper Sons and how this restaurant helped Asian Americans get a better life in the United States. Very powerful, very moving book. She faces bullies. She learns to stick up for herself, and she connects with people. The grandfather teaches her poker, and she uses those poker skills to actually read people and read situations. It's a great book. If you haven't read it yet, please read it. After the program, we will pick 2 winners today from today's attendance to get a prize pack. I have prize books to give away. So I will pick 2 winners, and they'll be delivered in Iowa Shares. And I just want to congratulate Missy Rogue from Cherokee Public Library. She run last month's giveaway. And she said, oh my God, there's so many books, so many good books. Woo woo, wonderful. So we will give away 2 prize packs at the end of today's segment. And really quickly, January 10th, you want to be here. You want to be online because all Iowa Reads, we're going to have our 2023 author presentations from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. We're going to talk to Nikki Smith, who wrote The Golden Hour for the children's All Iowa Reads book, and Angeline Booley from Firekeeper's Daughter. This is your chance to ask questions and get to know these books and learn resources on how you can bring these books to your libraries to start your own book clubs. And really quickly, Pop YS Live is coming back. I've heard you guys loud and clear. We're going to kick off the Pop YS Live series, which is called All About the Tweens. That's going to be Wednesday, January 18th from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock p.m. We'll go over some best practices and some cool, fun activities you can do with tweens. Make sure to register for that on Iowa Learns. So Wednesday, January 18th, 1 to 2 p.m., all about the tweens. And we have STEM fairs and summer reading summits. If you did not get a chance to go to the summer reading workshops that were virtual in December, don't worry, we're bringing them to you. These will be 2-day events. The first day will be an all-day STEM fair where you can learn about different STEM activities. Different speakers will present on different STEM-related activities you can do at your library. And we have some fun stuff, but I can't tell you what it is because I'm still working on it and we're still developing it. But we're going to share it at the STEM fair. And then the second day will be a half-day training on summer reading. So basically, we're focusing on the why. Why do we hold a summer reading program? We'll cover the best practices for kids all the way from 0 to 18. We'll have the craft examples, books you can pair your activities with, and a whole lot more. And thank you. Oh my gosh, I went over by 4 minutes. Yikes. But thank you guys so much. Thank you. Thank you. Will the STEM fair have a registration fee? Good question. We are working out those details. So once we get those out, we will let you know. So we will get to that as soon as we can. Any other questions?
There was one in there about the Maisie Chen, if that was middle grade.
Yes, it is middle grade.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Everyone's saying thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, thank you, Janeé. I always enjoy too when I edit these. And we will have this out maybe today and no later than tomorrow. And I did attendance during your talk. So folks, if you log into Iowa Learns and you do not see that the evaluation is on your dashboard, reach out to the continuing ed, because there were a couple of folks that I couldn't get their last name. So appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Email me if you have any questions or comments or things you want to know. So thank you and have a great happy new year for 2023.